Alright, so 300 years ago, a cataclysm unleashed demons and magic on the world, forcing 10 legendary professionals to create barriers just to keep humanity from going extinct. Flash forward to today in Fuan City, where the annual Profession Awakening ceremony is kicking off. And here is our boy casually scaling a building to sneak into the event. He is watching the massive crowd gather for their one shot at awakening a powerful profession. Everyone's desperately praying to statues of the old heroes for at least an SR rank. Got to love the ambition. Our guy just scoffs at the whole display, thinking they're all a bunch of hopeless daydreamers. Some random student explains the hype. There is a rumor a legendary inherited profession is up for grabs. This intense desperation is perfect for him because he is not here to pray. He is here for business. Just then, the testing kicks off with a massive burst of magical energy. This results start rolling in mostly average ranks until one guy hits S rank with high magic power. That same random student is totally blown away, wishing he had that much power himself. Seeing his chance, our boy slides in, offering him a magic boosting tomato. He pitches it as a premium spirit plant that boosts magic by 5% for only 5 gold coins. Plus, he's got a whole inventory of stat boosting produce, attack beans, diet cucumbers, the works. Naturally, a crowd gathers to call him out for being a total scam artist. So, he pulls the classic first one's free move to hook a customer. This gullible student takes the bait, holding the tomato with extreme but hopeful skepticism. But then he eats it and bam, he is literally glowing, feeling his magic surge instantly. Suddenly, a guy in a suit recognizes the produce as legit high-tier stuff from the academy. The suit guy winks, telling our boy to wrap up the entire stock. He is buying it all, which of course sends the crowd into a frenzy now that the first customer's glowing review is in, and our guy Lin Fong just smirks, knowing his marketing was a bit sketchy, but the product is legit. But later on, he is sitting alone in front of a shop, looking way less triumphant. A pair of fancy shoes walks right up to him, interrupting his quiet brooding session. And it is the rich blonde dude from before, paying him for a whole list of spirit plants. Though, as Lin Fong accepts the gold, he knows it is still not enough for the premium fertilizer he needs. So, his rich friend just casually asks why he does not grow more of the good stuff. Problem solved, right? This earns him a serious side eye from Lin Fong, who is clearly thinking, "You have no idea, do you?" This friend then laments Lin Fong's wasted talent before telling him to get home to Aunt Joe, which sends Lin Fong into a flashback about being a genius who only awakened a basic farmer class. And he figures it is just cosmic irony. But he is perfectly happy with a peaceful life away from battle because for his mother's sake, he is determined to just focus on managing the family farm. And just as he is having this wholesome thought, a single drop of rain hits his face. Then suddenly, it is pouring on a perfectly clear day, which is never a good sign, followed immediately by a man literally falling out of the sky, screaming all the way down. And after the guy makes a new crater in the pavement, Lin Fong's first thought is a demon invasion. But the crash victim is scrambling for some kind of communication device, clearly in a panic, managing to gasp out a warning. A necromancer, named his Zio, is a traitor, giving his power to the demons. But before he can send a message, a giant purple scythe swings down to silence him permanently. Lin Fong is absolutely reeling, unable to process that a traitor is just handing over a legendary profession to demons. And the necromancer Zio just casually mocks him for not running, basically calling him a dead man walking. This traitor explains he is only stuck here because he is injured, and this whole ritual is his ticket to an immortal body. With a glint in his eye, he decides it is time to clean up any witnesses, starting with our boy. Lin Fong immediately tries to nope out of there, attempting the world's quietest escape from a murder scene. But the villain totally calls him out, asking where he thinks he's going with that Oscar-worthy sneak attempt. In a flash, he's got Lin Fong dangling by the neck, planning to use him as a commemorative offering for the guy he just killed. Our boy is completely powerless, realizing the psycho's magic is on a whole other level. Desperately trying to think, his eyes land on one of his trusty farm tools because when in doubt, grab a hoe. It turns out he's got a maxed out farm tool mastery skill, letting him summon it right into his hand. He grips the handle tightly, telling the necromancer if he wants a sacrifice, he should do it himself. Then he just swings the thing right into the villain's chest, which definitely was not on Haizo's bingo card. This traitor is completely stunned. How in the world did a simple farmer manage to actually injure him? Now properly enraged, the necromancer lunges, forcing Lin Fong to dodge a furious counterattack. Thinking fast, he pulls out another piece of gear. This time, some kind of high-tech super soaker. He fires it, unleashing a massive pillar of energy that sends the villain flying straight up. This superpowered water jet slams right into the dark magic formation, disrupting the whole demonic ritual. Hyso lands on his feet, looking pretty beat up and even more furious than before, his armor cracking. Suddenly, a magical array appears under Linfong, trapping him in what the villain calls a marking formation. With his escape plan ruined, Hisayo announces he will just possess Linfang's body and leave instead. Problem solved. This necromancer's soul dives straight into Linfang's body, kicking off a very hostile takeover attempt. Our boy is fighting back with everything he's got, but the dark magic is overwhelming him. And inside his mind, Hisayo gloats about making this lowly farmer his new vessel. What an honor. But Linfang just smirks, telling him he has worked too hard to just hand over his body to some psycho. This traitor just laughs, saying his power is so far beyond a farmer's. It is not even a contest. And for a second, it looks like he is right. As Linfang collapses, admitting his luck's run out, his hand then reaches for a dagger he dropped earlier, grabbing it with a look of pure defiance. Deciding if he's going down, they're both going down together, which completely blindsides Hisayo, who has no idea what the kid is planning. And then Linfang just stabs himself right in the chest. A bold strategy. Let's see if it pays off. His last thoughts being about not wanting to get an earful from his dad in the afterlife. So he lies there seemingly dying, having chosen death over being a meat puppet. But instead of fading to black, a brilliant golden light erupts from his chest wound, leaving Hisayo totally stunned, wondering where all this dazzling magic power is coming from. This light explodes into the sky, completely engulfing the necromancer's spirit form. As golden tendrils bind Hisayo, who is screaming that this radiant power should not even exist, getting him wrapped up like a demonic ball of yarn, completely helpless, and the light intensifies, seemingly obliterating the traitor's soul for good. Then a system window pops up congratulating Linfang on acquiring the necromancer profession. To talk about a hostile takeover, Linfang lies there bleeding, but very much alive, trying to process what just happened. Linfang's first thought is a very confused wait, I am still me. The hostile takeover apparently failed, and he is now holding the remnants of the necromancer's power. A swirling ball of pure evil energy. A status window pops up showing his old farmer profession with its maxed out stats still intact. But then a new window reveals his class has evolved into Spirit Farm Master, a unique mutated version. His new stat sheet is wild, keeping all his old farming skills, but adding some very non-farmer-like abilities. And the kid realizes his level is back to 1, but he somehow kept all his maxed-out farmer attributes. On top of that, his magic power got a boost from the traitor's soul, letting him shatter his old class limits. So he spots the new Undead summoning skill and immediately hopes it does not bring back the psycho he just dealt with. First, he summons his original green farmer energy, all wholesome and nature-wise. Then he calls on the new necromancer power, which is just crackling with dark purple energy. In a moment of pure genius or insanity, he decides to just smash the two opposing energies together, which reveals a whole new branch on a skill tree his farmer class literally evolved to include necromancer. His eyes land on the body of the guy Hisayo killed, wondering if his new powers work on him. And the skill tree confirms it. The two professions are fusing into one hybrid powerhouse class. He knows he has to tame this volatile new power fast, or it'll devour his consciousness for good. But of course, he finds time to mock his own farmer magic's yellow color priorities, right? With a new sense of purpose, he activates his Undead summoning skill for a test run, causing the messenger's body to dissolve into particles of light. As the spell takes hold, and out of the vortex pop 2 summons the traitor Hisayo and some other dude named UI, Linfang realizes he has summoned both legendary professionals, levels reset, but skills intact, and now he needs to bolt before the cops arrive. Linfang knows he's got a massive secret to keep. A farmer killing 2 legends is a one-way ticket to disaster. So, his top priority is finding a safe place to experiment with his new powers and maybe grow some evil vegetables. A day passes, and he is back on the family farm, still feeling the necromancer's dark magic clinging to his profession. While on TV, a news anchor drones on about some agricultural teacher's birthday, which is just thrilling. He tries infusing a regular plant with his new power, only to find it mutates into something less than wholesome as its vines twist into a dark, veined network, looking like something straight out of a horror movie. And just like that, it is a full-blown monster plant with spikes and tendrils already grabbing a poor bird, leaving him absolutely horrified, realizing if anyone sees his new gardening project, they will scream, demon invasion. He immediately grabs a shovel to bury the evidence because demonic plant monster is a tough thing to explain. But then a light bulb goes off. What if he could actually control these terrifying mutations for profit? A plan forms to use this power to create the legendary stat boosting crops his dad never could. Just as an urgent news report confirms it, Zio is now a wanted traitor for murdering Dinua, which solidifies his decision to never let a single soul know he's got the Necromancer's undead power. Now he's got a branding problem. He needs a good cover name for his undead servants to avoid trouble, and a brilliant idea strikes. He would just call them farm servants. Perfectly normal for a spirit farm master, right? This TV then announces the Extraordinary Academy is expanding enrollment, offering private estates for growing high-tier crops, which is his perfect opportunity. The Academy offers a safe haven, and his farmer class is the perfect disguise. So his next stop is the Extraordinary Academy Registration Plaza, looking all official and prestigious. He steps up to the desk, coolly stating his name and his brand new, totally not suspicious class, Spirit Farm Master. But the recruiter is immediately skeptical, demanding Lin Fong prove his unheard of class by releasing his aura. Lin Fong confidently unleashes his green farmer aura for the skeptical recruiter, who immediately scoffs, calling it a garbage profession and telling him to get lost. Of course, the peanut gallery behind him immediately starts mocking his made-up class. Lin Fong calmly explains his profession is a mutated one with surprisingly solid fundamentals, but the instructor is not impressed, immediately calling for security to toss him out. Our boy just whips out the rulebook, reminding him that all Astra's professions get to test, then pulls the ultimate power move, pretending to call the Supervision Bureau on him. That gets a reaction as the instructor snatches the phone right out of his hand. Getting right in his face, the guy threatens him, doubting a level 1 can possibly pass. Meanwhile, the crowd whispers that this instructor is just a bitter dude who failed his promotion. Having a full-on meltdown, the instructor screams that anyone who does not like it can leave. He begrudgingly leads the applicants, including Lin Fong, toward the testing grounds anyway, which turns out to be a massive route dungeon, offering one last chance to quit. Lin Fong just thanks him for the tour and walks right into the portal, completely unbothered. Inside, he is already zipping through the tangled route maze with surprising agility and speed, landing perfectly as he scans the area for the first challenge in this weird labyrinth. His eyes lock onto the target, announcing it is time for some industrialized farming on horned rabbits. From his bag, he pulls out a jar of super concentrated carrot powder, his secret weapon. He then sprinkles a little trail of the stuff on the ground, setting the perfect bait. And just like that, a fluffy pink unicorn rabbit appears, looking way too cute to be a threat. Instead of waiting, Lin Fong unleashes his 2 legendary summons on the unsuspecting rabbit population, telling his new farm servants their mission is to discreetly exterminate every rabbit in the area. And with a confident smirk, he clarifies the goal is to rack up as many kills as possible. His summons immediately get to work, blasting through the dungeon with overwhelming power. His Zio just goes full-on Grim Reaper, shredding the cute little monsters with crackling dark magic, while UI opts for a more artistic approach, trapping them all in little blue bubbles of doom. Lin Fong cannot help but be impressed, realizing how lucky he was to get 2 powerhouses, even at level 1. But just then, a bell rings, signaling the official end of the test. And that same bitter instructor from before demands everyone turn in their rabbit horns for grading. This other applicants are barely scraping by, complaining about a rabbit shortage while the instructor mocks them. Turning to Lin Fong, the guy smugly assumes our boy came back with absolutely nothing. Lin Fong just gives him a grin and pulls out a glowing pouch, ready to prove him wrong in spectacular fashion. He then dumps out a literal mountain of pink rabbit bodies, completely burying the instructor's desk, leaving both the instructor and his assistant absolutely losing their minds at the sheer volume of fluff. Our boy casually asks if they'd like to count the 500 horns he brought back. A total power move. Completely flustered, the instructor's only response is to immediately scream that Lin Fong cheated. Suddenly, a much more distinguished-looking director appears, calling out the instructor for bullying a student. This new guy just calmly informs Lin Fong that he has passed the preliminary test, no questions asked. Lin Fong plays it cool, bowing and thanking the director for being so fair about the whole thing. But the director leans in, telling Lin Fong he seems strangely familiar, adding a whole new layer of intrigue. Lin Fong immediately panics, wondering if his cover is already blown. But the director just asks about his connection to a certain professor, Lindsay, which has our boy breathing a huge sigh of relief. His secret is safe for now. He casually drops the bomb that the professor is his dad, completely changing the mood. And suddenly, the director is all smiles, offering to pull some strings for his old friend's son. His pink-haired assistant quickly reminds him to keep it professional since everyone is staring while the other applicants just gossip about this blatant display of nepotism. This director waves them off, promising to give his new nephew a personal tour later, leaving Lin Fong with a distinct impression that this guy is maybe a little unreliable. With the director gone, the pink-haired woman takes charge, leading the successful students onward. Meanwhile, in a hall meeting, the Academy's investigators are piecing things together, noting that Dean Yuei and the traitor Hai Zio vanished at the exact same time. One investigator spins a wild theory about a secret mastermind who stole Hai Zio and LT, Unk and GT, as power, getting way too excited as he explains they just need to find a new necromancer to solve the case. His superior is not having it, telling him to drop the crazy speculation, but the guy will not back down, slamming the table and vowing to find the evidence to prove his unhinged theory right. Other agents whisper about him being a political appointee, clearly not respecting his position. A senior official then issues a grim order. Hai Zio is to be killed on sight, no questions asked, adding that if he is hiding, they will just eliminate anyone found using necromancer skills. Oh, back in the academy, Lin Fong and the other recruits wait in the mission hall for their next test. This pink-haired assistant announces the next test. All freshmen must clear a level 5 special dungeon in 3 hours. Immediately, the other students start panicking since they are barely high enough level to even survive in there. But she clarifies they are not expected to solo it, allowing teams of up to 5 to register. And just like that, the hall erupts into a desperate LFG chat with everyone scrambling for a party. Lin Fong, however, just stands by himself, completely ignoring the mad dash to team up. Suddenly, a pair of red boots stops right in front of him, which gets his attention, making him look up from whatever he was planning. A girl with pink buns introduces herself as a level 7 magic user, impressed by his rabbit massacre and offering a team up. Internally, our boy knows he cannot accept since teaming up means exposing his super legal necromancer skills. So, he smoothly declines, claiming he just prefers to work alone. A classic lone wolf move. She takes the rejection surprisingly well, wishing him good luck before heading off. With that potential complication avoided, Lin Fong walks off to register for the mission. He steps up to the desk, confirming with the pink-haired administrator that he is going in solo, who warns him against it, guessing he is after the rare solo clear reward and questioning if he is strong enough. Lin Fong just gives her a confident grin, thanks her for the reminder, and takes the mission scroll. Outside the dungeon entrance is a massive, terrifying MO of teeth and bone with other teams waiting. As he approaches, the guards immediately stop him, asking where the rest of his team is. Just me, he says, which earns him a stern warning about the dungeon's danger. Our boy just holds up the scroll, pointing out that the rules totally allow for solo entry. Thank you very much. This guard can only whisper that while he's got guts, he probably does not have the power to back it up. This guard sent him off with a totally sincere good luck, because he is definitely going to need it, which drops him into the horned beast lair, a charming cavern made of bone and weird purple growths. Lin Fong just strolls in like he's on a casual walk, completely unbothered by the whole death dungeon vibe, and is immediately greeted by 2 lizard monsters, which he notes are basically just tutorial-level trash now. But then he sees the *rest* of the welcoming committee, a literal tidal wave of monsters. And looking at the sheer numbers, he decides this is the perfect place to test out his new summoning method. So he activates his super lethal Undead summoning skill, Purple Energy, exploding around him, creating his own personal army of shadowy, glowing monster hounds in an instant. Our boy points dramatically, giving the classic minions charge. Command. He is really embracing the evil overlord aesthetic. His new monster form Undead are basically mindless attack dogs, perfect for overwhelming the enemy with brute force. Though Lin Fong is already thinking about efficiency, wondering if they can also be trained to fetch water. Meanwhile, his 2 legendary farm servants lead the charge, ready to absolutely wreck shop. Hai Zio immediately gets to work, grabbing a monster with a hand crackling with pure destructive energy and proceeds to tear through a flock of winged beasts like they are made of tissue paper. UI, on the other hand, prepares a much more elegant but equally deadly counterattack, trapping dozens of monsters in those pretty blue bubbles of doom we saw before Massacre, but make it art. Lin Fong realizes his human form Undead are smart enough for complex tasks like weeding his future demon garden. His entire Undead squad then unleashes a massive wave of destruction, clearing the area in a single blast, which nets him so much XP. He gets an immediate system notification. He is already level 7. Standing with his glowing army, Lin Fong looks pretty satisfied with his new highly efficient farming tools. After just 30 minutes, Lin Fong arrives at the dungeon's boss door, way ahead of schedule. Inside, a massive chained beast roars, ready to be the final exam for our boy's new powers. Lin Fong just smirks, seeing it as the perfect combat test before summoning his entire undead entourage. He issues his battle plan, assigning his XO the front line, while UAE handles debuffs and the Hound harass. And his whole squad unleashes a spectacular combined attack, overwhelming the boss in a flash of light, while Lin Fong just kicks back, popping a mana pill and critiquing their teamwork like a proud coach. UI gracefully dodges a massive paw swipe, weaving through the attacks to land her own strikes, and his IO charges up a ridiculously oversized ball of pure destructive purple energy, which he promptly slams into the boss, causing a massive screen whitening explosion. This result is an instant system notification. Congratulations, you are now level 8. With the boss vaporized, a pile of shiny loot bags is all that is left on the floor. But Lin Fong inspects a stat-boosting item and scoffs, since it is nothing compared to his super crops. This system then drops 2 reward chests confirming rewards for both his farmer and necromancer classes, which gives him a devious idea about manipulating his crops for double the effects. The grind never stops. As he exits the dungeon, a group of other adventurers gawk in total disbelief that he cleared alone. They immediately start coping, insisting he faked it because he is way too clean to have actually fought anything. Back at the hall, he calmly walks up to the pink-haired assistant to turn the mission, who takes his scroll and sees the glowing green check mark, confirming his solo clear, leaving her completely stunned that the level 1 rookie actually pulled it off all by himself. Lin Fong just offers a serene smile, the absolute picture of I told you so. She gives him a lecture on how risky his solo run was, mostly worried about the paperwork if he died. But Lin Fong just offers a polite smile, completely unfazed by her concern. With a sigh, she tells him the final interview is next, and that he should probably go rest up. And as he walks off, a reflection reveals a trio of goons already sizing him up. This assistant just hopes this whole ordeal taught him a lesson about recklessness. Oh, you sweet, naive woman. Our boy then takes a scenic stroll through a wooded path on the academy grounds, but his senses immediately pick up on some followers who are failing spectacularly at being sneaky. He stops, casually summoning a bit of power, ready to greet his new fan club. While the thugs whisper their brilliant plan, he must be exhausted after a solo clear, so he is an easy target. Already drooling over his potential loot, they decide to jump him before he gets away. One of them yells for the farmer to stop, and Lin Fong turns with a look of pure boredom before the trio surrounds him, flexing their auras and demanding he hand over his dungeon rewards. Lin Fong plays it cool, asking why they'd single him out among all the other students, which gets one of the thugs to accuse him of playing dumb. He knows exactly what they want. They spell it out. The rare solo clear reward is not for a stuffed farmer like him. A system window then compares the plus 10 stamina gallbladder to his own plus 10 stamina watermelons, making Lin Fong internally scoff at how hyped they are over an item he can literally grow in his backyard. He then materializes the gallbladder, taunting them by asking if this is the prize they are after. And one of the idiots immediately lunges for it, screaming for Lin Fong to hand it over, only for the item to explode right in his face. A perfect little welcome gift from our boy. This gallbladder trap detonates in a massive blast, sending the greedy thug flying. And just then, the pink-haired mage from earlier shows up, scolding them for fighting on school grounds. This lead goon is completely unimpressed, telling the girl ailing to mind her own business. Her response is basically, I do not like you, so now it is my business. Flawless logic, really. She powers up her staff with a fiery aura, threatening to snitch if they do not back off. This thug just smirks, saying they will just take her down, too, if she insists on protecting the farmer. With that, the whole crew charges in, ready to jump both of them at once. Lin Fong just watches from the side, figuring a level 7 mage can probably handle these chump herself. Ailing is clearly annoyed by their numbers, calling them out for being dirty fighters. Turning to Lin Fong, she offers to team up to take them all down together. But our boy just bolts, leaving her completely stunned and alone to deal with the thugs. He does, however, toss something back to her as a little parting gift, which she catches, realizing with confusion that it is some kind of monster soul. Lin Fong gives a cheerful wave, thanking her for the help and telling her to keep it. Now she is surrounded, realizing the thugs have just switched their target from him to her. Meanwhile, Lin Fong is chilling in a lounge, wondering why a skill scroll from the dungeon will not activate. He gets a sudden flash of insight, a classic do not tell me moment of discovery. So, he channels both his farmer and necromancer energy into it, and boom, it works. This new skill, Special Cultivation, lets him power up his undead using magic and materials. Our boy smirks, realizing the scroll required both of his hidden classes to even use it. Eager to test his new skill, Lin Fong gathers his undead for a little power-up session. And with a smirk, he channels his green farmer energy, ready for some forbidden class synergy. This result is an instant 2-level boost for Hizio, jumping him straight to level 8. And UI gets the same treatment, also rocketing up to a shiny new level 8. Even his monster summons get juiced with the Undead Bear, hitting a respectable level 9. While his other ghostly beasts also get a nice little level bump across the board. Our boy looks on pretty satisfied with the results of his little experiment. His entire Undead squad is now stronger than ever, looking absolutely terrifying. But of course, our resident min-maxer immediately finds a problem with this perfect situation. His big complaint is running out of farmland to test new crops. A true first-world farmer problem. After his power-up session, Lin Fong gets dressed and heads out for the final interview. But he is immediately stopped by Ailing, who is still holding that gallbladder he tossed her earlier. When she asks about it, he just confirms he gave it to her like it was pocket change. She absolutely freaks out, clutching the valuable item like it is made of solid gold. Lin Fong just gives her the most unimpressed dead inside stare in human history. This kid even mutters about why she is treasuring such a lousy item. The disrespect is legendary. Ailing overhears this, and her face is a perfect picture of, did he just call my treasure trash? Unbothered, Lin Fong just turns and walks away, leaving her to her crisis. His destination is deep in the woods, looking for a quiet place to get back to business. And thinking he is finally alone, he prepares to do something super sketchy. I am sure. He decides to test his new special cultivation skill on his crops, wondering what will happen, which immediately summons 2 horrifying sentient plant monsters crackling with dark energy. At first, Lin Fong is thoroughly unimpressed, noting they look exactly the same as before. But then he realizes they're not just plants anymore. They are massive living things. Our boy is genuinely shocked to discover his crops can now get up and walk around on their own. Meanwhile, some new guy is zipping through the forest, tracking a signal on his spirit detector. Perched on a branch, he confirms he has found the source of some forbidden necromancer energy. His expert tracking leads him to bump directly into Lin Fang's back like a total amateur. Without missing a beat, the stranger grabs our boy's shoulder to stop him in his tracks and immediately profiles Lin Fong as a simple farmer, asking what business he is here. This dude is all business, sporting a serious expression and a weird forehead tattoo. He then demands to know if the farmer has seen anyone suspicious in the area. Lin Fong plays along with a thoughtful look, confirming he has indeed seen someone, then points right at the guy's chest, telling him the suspicious person is right here. This hunter absolutely loses it, pulling the "my uncle is a duke" card like a spoiled brat. His hand erupts in flames as he threatens to kill Lin Fong for the sheer disrespect. Out in the quiet woods, the confrontation is about to get messy. This duke's nephew transforms, crackling with green energy and vowing to punish the lowly farmer. Lin Fong just casually crosses his arms, blocking the incoming attack without even flinching. His expression is pure ice as he states the farmer. This guy scoffs and can beat him one-handed. This duke's nephew goes full beast mode, roaring as he powers up with crackling green energy. He leaps forward with a battle cry only for Lin Fong to dodge and toss a small pouch his way. But our boy is already 5 steps ahead, thinking about his special Undead infused paralytic powder. This idiot promptly inhales the entire cloud of dust, not realizing what he has just done. And suddenly he is seeing stars completely drained of strength and wondering what just hit him. Lin Fong just casually explains it is some common enite from his fields, farmer stuff. This, he says, with a devastatingly smug look, is the true power of a farmer. With his opponent totally nerfed, Lin Fong unleashes a brutal green energy beatdown, leaving the poor guy strung up in his underwear to think about his life choices. A valuable lesson, I am sure. Meanwhile, an announcement calls all candidates to the auditorium for the final instructor interviews, which reminds Lin Fong that he has actually got somewhere important to be. Outside the hall, the gossip mill is already running at full speed among the other students. As everyone whispers about the guy who solo cleared a dungeon, but also supposedly just leeches off women. Some other chump scoffs, claiming his elite status gives him the edge over our boy. Good luck with that, buddy. Just then, Ailing shows up, trying to return the precious gallbladder he gave her earlier. But Lin Fong just waves her off, telling her to keep the trash item since it is useless to him. Then he pulls out a watermelon for a quick stamina buff, leaving the entire crowd completely baffled. Inside, the instructor panel is ready for the interviews. A mutual selection process for students and teachers. A serious L-looking proctor with a monol starts calling out the first names, and the first candidate, Shuren, stands to introduce himself as a level 6 Earth Warrior. Shuren kicks things off by summoning a massive clunky-looking battle armor mech, which immediately impresses a level 44 Earth Berserker instructor who offers to take him on. This kid is absolutely ecstatic to be chosen, and the interviews move on to the next candidate until finally the proctor with the fancy mono calls out the name we have all been waiting for, Lin Fong. Our boy stands up looking completely unfazed by the crowd of jealous onlookers and introduces himself as a level 8 Spirit Farm Master complete with a flashy green aura. Two female instructors note his high level for his age, but one immediately dismisses him as just a farmer. This Berserker agrees, saying the academy trains frontline fighters, not cannon fodder, despite Lin Fong's good test scores. To settle the argument, the head proctor suggests they put him through a little combat assessment, and all the other instructors are immediately on board with this impromptu trial by fire. This proctor then asks Lin Fong if he is willing to prove he's got what it takes to fight demons, while Lin Fong internally panics about how to fight without revealing his secret necromancer class. But then a brilliant idea strikes, and he accepts the challenge with a dangerously confident smirk. An area is cleared in the auditorium, setting the stage for Lin Fong versus the smug Berserker instructor who lays out the simple test. Just survive his attacks for 5 minutes to prove his talent. This instructor then powers up, unleashing a massive golden aura that fills the entire room, and the sheer pressure has the student audience struggling to even breathe. Yet Lin Fong is just standing there in the middle of it all, looking completely fine, impressed by his resilience. The instructor tells him to use all his power and show him what he has got. Our boy just smirks, summoning a glowing green orb and calling for his servants to come out and play. His brilliant plan works, cloaking his undead bear in nature magic to hide its dark aura. And our boy internally smirks, knowing no one would guess this cabbage-looking beast is an undead summon. This Berserker instructor is completely fooled, thinking he is looking at some rare mutated nature class. With a cocky grin, the instructor draws his daggers, eager to see what this kid's pet can do. So, it is a level 44 pro versus one very angry Salamonster in the middle of the auditorium. This instructor lunges forward in a flash of golden light blades at the ready and immediately starts wailing on the leafy summon with everything he has got. He is even screaming as he attacks, putting way too much effort into this. A flurry of strikes connects, but the cabbage bear just stands there tanking the damage. Even the proctor is impressed, commenting that any normal summon would have vanished by now. But this thing just keeps taking the hits, refusing to go down, which prompts the mono proctor to ask the Berserker if he is getting tired yet savage. Lin Fong just explains that his undead do not feel pain, and a little magic patches them right up. Realizing he is being shown up, the instructor decides it is time to stop playing around. Even promises to compensate Lin Fong for his destroyed summon before unleashing his big move. Activating his bloodthirst skill, he plows into the creature with a massive burst of energy, which finally shatters the leafy summon into a million glowing green pieces. This instructor crosses his arms, looking incredibly smug for having just murdered a vegetable. He then taunts Lin Fong to cry about it, and our boy obliges with some hilariously fake waterworks, but the act vanishes in an instant, replaced by a completely deadpan stare. He could not care less. This instructor is just baffled, thinking Lin Fong is so devastated he has ascended beyond human emotion. But then our boy just unleashes another wave of green energy from the ground up, trapping the Berserker in a plant-based prison while he whines about how many summons Lin Fong has. A massive energy dragon looms over the instructor, who is now completely pinned down. Even the head proctor looks on, probably rethinking his entire definition of farmer. This Berserker struggles against the bindings, clearly outmatched by some premium-grade shrubbery until the proctor finally steps in and calls the whole thing off, saving the guy's dignity. He confirms Lin Fong is qualified, but adds there are no nature instructors available to teach him, which Lin Fong could not care less about, immediately asking about his cultivation resources instead. This proctor assures him he will get the standard issue supplies. No worries there, and as a top student, he even gets to make one special request to the academy. Our boy is practically vibrating with excitement, freedom, and resources, as it is a min-maxer's dream. So he asks for the one thing a true farmer needs: a nice big plot of land. This proctor is absolutely floored, asking why he wants dirt instead of legendary gear or something cool. And Lin Fong just hits him with a dazzling smile, explaining a farm master kind of needs a farm. Go figure. This newly named director just sighs and gives him a whole unused wasteland to play with, then dismisses him to go rest while the interviews continue for everyone else. Meanwhile, someone important is getting a debrief in the principal's office, pulling up Lin Fang's student file for a closer look at our mysterious new recruit. And the man in charge seems very intrigued by this so-called spirit farm master. A pink-haired woman bursts into the principal's office with an urgent report, handing over a file that contains some seriously bad news. Apparently, an investigator was just brutally killed by a necromancer right outside the academy. Meanwhile, completely unaware of the manhunt, Lin Fong arrives at his new training wasteland. He pulls out the map and finds a spot, a smug look already on his face. This deed glows with green energy, confirming his ownership of a massive plot of land. It is only a 1-year lease, which he thinks is stingy, but he will make it work. Our boy is absolutely ecstatic, ready to embrace his destiny as a true spirit farm master. With a single gesture, he unleashes a torrent of purple energy to call forth his workforce and summons his entire undead army to turn this barren land into a paradise. He points with a grin, ordering his new farm hands to get to work immediately. One of his generals starts tilling the soil by literally punching the ground into shape, while the other handles irrigation by summoning a casual tsunami across the fields. Even the undead cabbage bear is pitching in, diligently raking the dirt with a giant rake. And while his minions toil, Lin Fong is chilling on a lounge chair eating watermelon, the ultimate manager. A quick system check confirms the land is reclaimed, and he looks on with pure satisfaction. He is then surprised to see his 2 main generals standing over him, thinking they're being proactive. This blue one even gives him a creepy little smile, clearly waiting for a head pat. It proudly gestures to itself as if to say, "Look what I did, boss." But Lin Fong just sighed, realizing it was a bit much to expect his undead to have actual personalities. After that whole management review, Lin Fong just walks off to start his new life. His undead general, meanwhile, is still rocking that smug "I deserve a promotion" look, which is honestly just a little bit unsettling for a soulless minion. Lin Fong arrives at his new plot of land, which conveniently comes with a massive greenhouse, and inside he has already got some special little stat-boosting plants growing. A quick scan reveals these veggies offer permanent attack and stamina buffs. Talk about a superfood. He is absolutely giddy, gloating that he gets strong from a balanced diet while others grind for years, but then gets all serious, wishing he could share his OP crops to help fight demons. To keep his secret garden safe, he decides to plant a bunch of normal crops outside as a cover. And one day later, the real work begins. His undead army gets to work digging up the fields, starting with some potatoes. With Lin Fong giving a masterclass in shovel technique to his very attentive ghouls, he is super proud of his undead farm hands who have seriously boosted his productivity until he spots one of them doing something completely out of line. One of his little undead lizards is just straight up snacking on the merchandise, leaving Lin Fong completely baffled as the creature just stares back at him mid-chew. Suddenly, the system window reveals the lizard is getting a temporary defense and density buff. And our boy connects the dots. This is one of his special stat-boosting potatoes. A brilliant, terrifying thought hits him. Do his magical vegetables work on the undead, too? This kicks off a new era of highly questionable agricultural science, with Lin Fong as the lead researcher. Meanwhile, a blue-haired assassin is scouting Lin Fong's farm, completely baffled by the new greenhouse. This guy scoffs, thinking his daggers can slice through the paper-thin wall in a single slash. He peeks inside, sees one person relaxing in a hammock, and immediately smells a trap. So he lobs some kind of explosive device at the glass to make a very loud entrance. With a dramatic leap, he smashes through the wall, ready for a fight, only to be greeted by an incredibly angry-looking potato, which was definitely not in the mission briefing. This assassin does not even hesitate, immediately trying to shred the vegetable guardian. And he has still got that smug grin, thinking a little plant defense cannot possibly stop him. He starts stomping on a whole army of these potato things which pop under his feet until his confidence finally cracks, realizing this is way more than he bargained for. And then they all detonate in a massive starchy chain reaction right in his face. From the smoking wreckage, a strange green tree begins to grow at an unnatural speed, which quickly forms into the silhouette of a powerful female-shaped nature spirit. This new summon looms over him, radiating pure, unadulterated "you messed with the wrong farm" energy. Its glowing eyes locking onto him with some serious predatory intent. This assassin is completely blown back by the sheer force of its appearance, and he is already whining about how he only took this job to getting good with some Grand Duke. Picking himself up, he vows to chop this new plant monster into a salad. Refusing to be beaten, he charges in with a powerful slash, aiming to end this quickly. But then he feels it, a mix of nature and undead aura, and his brain just completely short-circuits. Turns out the assassin was on a holy mission to find a necromancer who ghosted his clan, and he has just realized this farm is the guy's secret hideout, which raises some serious questions. He scoffs at the necromancer's so-called immortality techniques. Clearly unimpressed by the shrubbery, deciding to focus on the main objective, he makes a swift exit to continue his manhunt. Back at the farm, Night falls peacefully over Lin Feng's little agricultural empire. And the next morning dawns bright and sunny, perfect for a hard day's work. Lin Feng steps out with his trusty hoe, ready to finish preparing the last of his plots. He has got that look of pure, unadulterated focus. A man committed to his craft. With a mighty swing, he drives the tool into the earth to get started, only to discover a massive crater where his greenhouse was, sparking a very understandable panic. A massive winged shadow blots out the sun as some kind of demonic beast descends. And Lin Feng just looks up, his expression screaming, "Are you kidding me right now?" This beast lands, revealing a rider, and our boy immediately wonders why law enforcement is here. Two official-looking guys announced their magic detector led them right to this spot, suspecting a demon. One of them pulls out a scanner, which confirms the land has been leased, but the agent with glasses insists they still have to investigate for potential demon activity. His partner gives a cheerful wave to Lin Feng, completely oblivious to the internal screaming. Our boy is just sweating, trying to process why the magic cops are on his doorstep. This agent then asks him to please lower the barrier so they can come in and inspect the magic aura. Lin Feng is completely baffled, wondering how there could be any aura on land he just rented. From inside, Lin Feng watches the agents get impatient, one complaining about the slow farmer. This spiky-haired agent is absolutely fuming, connecting the demonic energy here to a recent murder. He has already jumped to the conclusion that Lin Feng is a demon spy. Case closed. Apparently, our boy, meanwhile, is just trying to figure out how to deal with the magic cops on his lawn. Without waiting for any evidence, the agent just starts screaming for the spy to surrender. Now, his more level-headed partner tries to calm him down, though he admits the timing is suspicious. This agent with glasses then politely asks Lin Feng to cooperate and open the barrier for inspection. Lin Feng knows he cannot let them in, so he's got to cook up a plan to make them leave. So, he launches into a whole sob story about being a poor, disrespected farmer just trying to get by. This nice agent totally buys it, telling his captain that Lin Feng looks way too pitiful to be a threat. This captain, however, has zero chill and just explodes at his partner for being so gullible. He roars that anyone can fake being pathetic and immediately charges in for some aggressive negotiations. A massive flaming punch flies right at Lin Feng's face, meant to end this quickly. But Lin Feng just casually catches it, realizing his supervigy diet made the hit feel like nothing. He figures it is time to put on a show and really sell the whole week farmer routine. So he dramatically throws himself to the ground, making the agent wonder how he is even still alive. Lin Feng then lays it on thick, asking if they're just beating up random people to close cases. Finally, the glasses-wearing agent stops his captain, pointing out the pure nature magic on Lin Feng, something demons hate. He helps our boy up, apologizing for the misunderstanding and promising to clear his name in their report. Lin Feng praises him for being a good cop, and the agent just blushes, saying it is all in a day's work. This hot-headed agent is absolutely seething, completely unable to process what just happened. He throws another wild punch, only for it to get stopped dead in its tracks because Lin Feng is now casually restraining both agents with some kind of red energy ribbon. This captain is just stunned into silence, his whole tough cop routine completely shattered. With their investigation officially a failure, the agents just fly off, leaving Lin Feng in peace. Our boy realizes that just being a farmer is not going to cut it. He needs real strength to protect his land. Just then, a magical paper crane flies in with a summons for a mandatory freshman ranking battle. Lin Feng crushes the message, sighing about how his dream of a quiet life is already ruined. Elsewhere, two mysterious observers are watching, impressed by the incredibly pure nature magic. This woman asks the headmaster if this kid is really just a farmer, and he confirms his class is Spirit Farmaster. He then teases his companion, a level 50 archmage, for being so intrigued by the boy's power. She admits that while he is hiding something, that pure magic proves he is no demon collaborator. This headmaster just smirks, promising that this little display was just the opening act. Over at the academy training grounds, all the freshmen are confused about a sudden unscheduled test. Everyone's grumbling, having expected to just start their classes like normal students. Lin Feng just listens as some guy obnoxiously brags about having insider info he will not share. Suddenly, the pink-haired instructor steps up to get everyone's attention. She drops a bombshell. Demon attacks on the front lines have intensified and a major barrier is about to fall. The students are in an uproar, complaining they just got here and have not even started training yet. But she shuts them down cold, explaining this is not a school trip. It is a mandatory conscription to save humanity. A pink-haired girl and her crew are trying to act tough, but her little brother is totally cramping her style. Lin Fong, meanwhile, is just chilling in the corner, radiating pure, unbothered main character energy. And of course, the same girl is now blushing, wondering if this outstanding guy will get drafted. This instructor then announces it is time for live combat testing because school is canceled. War is now. Our boy is just hoping his farmer class gets him a pass. Surely they do not send gardeners to the front lines, right? His first opponent immediately calls him out, mocking his Spirit Farm Masterclass and his supposed dodging skills. She strikes a dramatic pose, vowing to burn him to a crisp with her flames. All the theatrics, zero subtlety. He casually sidesteps her attack, then roasts her with the ultimate farmer insult. Her fire cannot even cook his potatoes. Absolutely furious, she starts powering up some kind of big deal flame spirit spell, but her whole dramatic incantation is met with a look of pure, unadulterated boredom from Lin Fong. He just walks up and punches her mid-chant, pointing out that her casting time is a little on the slow side. With one clean hit, she is sent flying out of the ring, and the match is called for Lin Fong. After racking up a whole list of wins, he decides he's done enough to pass and can just throw the rest of his matches. A woman with striking green eyes then offers him a drink, telling him his talent is wasted here. Our farmer seems a little curious, asking her what she means by a higher stage. She lays out the offer. Promotion to a better academy, legendary gear, the whole 9 yards. A quick glance at some flying mounts is all it takes for him to say thanks, but no thanks. Completely baffled, she asks him what on earth he could possibly want instead of power. With a single finger raised, he states his one true desire, a bigger, better plot of land to farm in peace. She clarifies that she meant his long-term goals like what he plans to do asterisk after he is done farming. Lin Fong explains his grand plan is just more land for more farmers, which he finds hilariously ambitious. Her companion, the headmaster, points out he is already developing a wasteland. Is not that enough for him? Our boy gets a huge, goofy grin, declaring there is never enough land for a true farmer, just as his next match is announced. With a confident smile and a wave, Lin Fong heads off to his next fight, totally unfazed. Watching him walk away, the headmaster just tells the recruiter to give the straightforward kid what he wants. This piques her interest, and she asks if the headmaster is planning to take him on as a student. This recruiter just smirks, admitting that Lin Fong is definitely an interesting case. Back in the ring, his opponent, a pink-haired girl with twin blades, seems genuinely surprised to be facing him. Her surprise quickly turns to pure determination as she vows to go all out for this match. Lin Fong just smirks, casually telling her he was planning to surrender because obviously he cannot beat her. Taking this as a massive insult, she immediately flies into a rage and lunges at him. Our boy sigh about her going straight to second phase and effortlessly summons a swarm of glowing green vines. In an instant, the vines shoot up and wrap around her, completely immobilizing her mid-attack. But she is not down yet, slicing clean through the magical restraints with a powerful kick. He is actually a little impressed, noting how rare it is for a low-level student to have such pure magic. From the sidelines, the recruiter is floored, admitting even a level 80 master lacks magic this pure. His potential is insane. After seeing this display, she makes a shocking declaration. She has decided to take Ari Siskim as her teacher. This headmaster completely misses, agreeing it is a great idea for her to become his instructor. She immediately cuts him off, clarifying with a pout that he got it backwards. She wants to be his student. This just breaks the head's brain, who asks if the demons have finally fried her circuits. This recruiter is completely unfazed, declaring she still wants to be his disciple, teacher, or no teacher. Back in the arena, the training field is just a blur of high-speed combat and swirling energy. Lin Fong continues to effortlessly dodge the pink-haired girl's frantic twin blade assault. He has already decided he has shown enough strength and is just looking for an opening to surrender, but the headmaster steps in with a chilling ultimatum. Keep holding back and you lose the farm. Suddenly, the thought of losing his land flips a switch, and his eyes glow with terrifying intent. His opponent feels the shift instantly, realizing he has finally stopped playing around and is getting serious. A vortex of green nature energy swirls around Lin Fong as he prepares to end this quickly. In response, she powers up her own flame magic, refusing to be intimidated. She then unleashes a massive fireball, intending to completely incinerate him, which Lin Fong decides to counter by just punching it because of course he does. He unleashes his own serious punch, channeling all that green energy into one fist. This glowing fist connects with a devastating impact, completely overwhelming her attack. All she can do is stare in absolute shock at the tremendous power about to hit her. With a smug little smile, Lin Fong thanks her for letting him win the fight already over. This crowd is just stunned, finally understanding that the farmer was hiding his true strength all along. From the sidelines, the recruiter is captivated, recognizing his control over nature is almost instinctual. After the match, his former opponent is totally smitten, admitting she has been conquered by his power. He just plays it cool, insisting she is the strong one and that he only knows how to hit hard. But inside he is just sighing in relief that he did not lose his land. That was way too close. With a huge grin, the headmaster praises Lin Fong for finally showing some real power. Lin Fong politely thanks him for the easy match while the headmaster looks forward to his growth. Internally, however, our boy is vowing revenge on the old geyser for threatening his precious land. As he stomps away, he is still muttering about how the headmaster is definitely going to pay for that stunt. Suddenly, a flash of movement from the side of the courtyard catches his attention. He stops dead in his tracks, realizing the green-eyed recruiter has appeared right behind him. This recruiter VA then makes a wild request. She wants him to guide her cultivation. Lin Fong is completely floored, asking if she has lost her mind, asking a farmer for battle advice. She just gushes about his masterful use of nature magic, saying she has never seen anything so pure. Our boy tries to play it off, suggesting she wait for actual instructors since he only knows farming. VA clarifies she just wants to observe him at his farm, not become a formal disciple. She even bows and offers to do chores, making Lin Fong panic about her seeing his secret crops. He tries to turn her down again, insisting he is just physically strong and cannot teach fighting. At that moment, the headmaster swoops in, telling Lin Fong to just agree for his sake. A little coercive whispering later, and Lin Fong looks like he has just been strong-armed into a deal. With a sigh of defeat, he agrees that it is settled she can come over. VA is absolutely ecstatic, promising she will not be a bother at all. She immediately gets way too close, asking if she can visit Asterisk right now. Asterisk, and he just gives in. Back at the wasteland, Lin Fong is already stressing about how to keep her away from his greenhouse. He tells her to just hang out outside while he tends to some special seedlings, a very obvious lie. VA watches him go, realizing his crops are advanced, stat-boosting plants nourished by absurdly pure magic. With a blush, she admits to herself that this mysterious farmer is getting more interesting by the second. An hour later, she is still out there on her hands and knees examining the soil like a crime scene investigator. Her mind is completely blown. After a thorough analysis, she confirms it is just plain, ordinary dirt. When Lin Fong comes to check on her, she immediately asks how he is growing miracle crops in a total wasteland. He just plays it cool, confirming it is just regular dirt with no magic powders or special soil. Our boy then spins a whole sob story about how he is too broke to afford fancy magic fertilizers. To really sell the act, he points to some sad, malnourished plants as proof of his struggle, total misdirection. VA is not buying the poor farmer routine, instead realizing his magic is so good, he does not need help. So, she hatches a plan. She casually brings up a school policy that lets students trade dungeon materials for academy warehouse items. Lin Fang's interest is immediately piqued, grabbing her shoulder and asking if this is for real. So, she lays out the quest. A level 10 boss drops a Fong that can be traded for Earth's Pulse, a job for a 5-man team. To add a little urgency, she mentions the policy is about to be scrapped, making it a limited time offer. That is all he needs to hear, and he is instantly fired up to go dungeon crawling for some premium fertilizer. As he sprints off with his trusty hoe, VA swoons, convinced his pure, simple heart is the source of his power. He arrives at the Shadow Deepwood, a level 10 dungeon with a swirling purple portal that screams bad idea. This other students immediately start mocking him, wondering what a level 8 farmer with a hoe is doing here. Ignoring the haters, Lin Fong walks right up to the instructor and submits an application for a solo run. This instructor is completely baffled, try to explain that a low-level student going alone is basically a death wish. But Lin Fong just smiles, reminds him that academy rules allow it, and politely asks him to process the paperwork. This instructor is absolutely floored, looking like he has just seen a ghost or a celebrity. But a new green-haired girl with Lin Fong immediately shushes him, clearly trying to keep a secret. Defeated, the instructor just sighs and approves the solo run, warning him to retreat if things get dicey. Inside, other adventurers are already mocking Lin Fong, writing him off as newly recruited cannon fodder. They're all convinced he's going to die in there, calling a low-level farmer an embarrassment to the academy. Meanwhile, Lin Fong casually strolls into the dungeon, finding a pack of shadow wolves waiting for him. And then he reveals his actual asterisk class, summoning dark energy from the shadows. Surprise, he's a necromancer. He effortlessly tears through the pack of wolves, proving the whole farmer thing was a front. With a smirk, he begins raising the fallen monsters to become his new undead warriors. His first summon is an adorable glowing undead puppy, because this is his brand now. He then reaches the final boss, a massive cobalt chieftain, and is completely unimpressed by its size. With a huge yawn, he just tells his new undead minions to go handle the big guy for him. This boss roars and raises its glowing sword, preparing to bring it down with full force. But his shadow wolf summons, crackling with dark purple energy, leap forward to intercept. They slam into the boss with overwhelming power, creating a massive explosion of dark magic. This resulting shockwave tears through the entire chamber, kicking up rock and dust. And just like that, the boss is defeated, netting him a level up in the chieftain's fawn. A system message confirms he cannot raise the boss since it is too high level, but the loot is his. He's not even mad, noting the level restriction on his summons while celebrating his main prize. And there it is, the Fong he needs to trade for that premium grade fertilizer for his farm. With the Fong secured, Lin Fong's only thought is getting back to trade it for that sweet fertilizer. He promptly teleports out of the dungeon, leaving a swirl of cosmic energy in his wake. Back at the entrance, a crowd of students is still milling about, completely unaware of what just happened. This mysterious green-haired girl reassures the instructor that the fertilizer he is giving away is not a combat resource. Just then, a system alert flashes. Lin Fong has set a new solo clear record with an SSS rank, and our boy casually materializes from the portal, looking like he just took a stroll through the park. This entire crowd immediately loses their minds, screaming that he must have cheated to get a legendary reward. Another student demands a full investigation, insisting the academy confiscate everything he earned. From the side, the green-haired girl just smirks, admitting she is impressed he cleared it in one go. With all the commotion, Lin Fong is now the center of a very angry, very jealous mob. A group of masked goons even surrounds him, and he is just wondering who he pissed off this time. He just stares back at the accusers, completely unfazed by their little welcoming committee. When Lin Fong tries to exchange his resources, a rival student blocks him, calling his rewards illegitimate. This instructor actually seems to agree, suggesting the academy has the right to confiscate the items. Seeing his chance, the rival student proposes a wager to settle the whole thing. This deal is a resource wager, a dungeon speedrun where the winner takes all the reward from both sides. Lin Fong initially scoffs at the idea, calling it boring with no real benefit for him. But then the guy sweetens the pot, offering a blueprint for something called the Lamp of Nature. Suddenly, the green-haired girl is whispering in his ear, telling him he absolutely must get that blueprint. She explains it is a super rare artifact that shortens crop growth cycles, the ultimate farming cheat code. This rival student gets right in his face, calling him a country bumpkin and demanding an answer on the wager. But a quick look at some text reveals this was all a setup to bait Lin Fong with that blueprint. Lin Fong decides the farming artifact is worth the risk. Confident he can hide his full necromancer power. With a smirk that could power a small city, he calmly accepts the challenge. His opponent is absolutely ecstatic, gloating that he is about to expose Lin Fong as a fraud. And so they re-enter the level 10 Shadow Deepwood dungeon for a little speedrun competition. The supervising instructor is already baffled, asking aloud how Lin Fong even cleared this place before. Our boy just flashes a charming smile, promising to show the teacher his real asterisk strength this time around. He then unleashes a swirl of green energy, calling out for his tenants, which is not ominous at all. From that vortex, a massive hooded spectral being begins to materialize behind him. This poor instructor is just sweating buckets, completely floored by the speed and quality of the summon. Watching from a safe distance, the teacher realizes he's about to get a front row seat to the real show. Lin Fong just points, ordering a full assault with the casual air of a guy ordering takeout. A whole pack of his shadow wolves instantly materializes and charges forward, snarling and ready. At the same time, his main hooded summon lunges into the fight, crackling with overwhelming power. They immediately unleash a blinding volley of green energy projectiles, lighting up the entire cavern. This hooded summon seems to be directing the chaos, looking way too intelligent for a simple minion. These energy blasts just keep hammering down in a relentless and overwhelming magical barrage. His main summon then gathers even more power, preparing to drop another devastating attack. And the ground just completely erupts under the sheer force of the assault, utterly obliterated. This instructor is just speechless, realizing it took less than a minute to wipe out the first wave. He is wondering if this insane power is because of some hidden special class, You think Lin Fong then casually tells the teacher he is off to the boss room, like it is no big deal. Meanwhile, his rival finally enters the dungeon, opening his own flashy little portal. Out pops his main summon, some kind of speedy Cobalt assassin, ready for a fight. It immediately runs into the Cobalt Chieftain, which roars with a menacing red glow. His opponent is already barking orders, commanding his team to flank and attack with precision. Back with Lin Fong, his summons are just unleashing a storm of green energy blasts. A werewolf-looking monster gets absolutely hammered by the relentless magical barrage. His main hooded summon glides through the chaos, looking like a true Grim Reaper. It then unleashes another devastating attack, completely overwhelming the dungeon mobs. This resulting shockwave just tears through the area, leaving nothing but dust and debris. This poor instructor is having a full-blown meltdown, vowing to report this monster to the headmaster. And just like that, the boss is down with Lin Fong standing over it like he just finished a chore. This massive beast lies defeated at his feet. Not even a single scratch on our boy. From the instructor's perspective, Lin Fong looks like an absolute giant, a true force of nature. With a smirk, Lin Fong asks if he has proven himself, and the teacher can only agree wholeheartedly. As they walk, his rival's voice echoes, asking why Lin Fong is not leaving the dungeon yet. This teacher heads out, but Lin Fong says he is going to stick around and enjoy the scenery for a bit. Because now that he has leveled up, he is wondering if he can finally raise the boss as his new undead minion. Lin Fong channels his dark magic directly into the fallen boss, preparing for a major upgrade. With a single intense command, he orders the massive beast to rise for him. Its eyes immediately snap open, now glowing with an eerie purple necromantic light. And just like that, he's got a giant undead Cobalt Chieftain for a pet. Talk about a glow-up. With his new prize secured, our boy casually heads for the dungeon exit. He strolls out of the portal, looking like he just went for a walk, not a record-breaking speedrun. All the students who mocked him are now scrambling to get away. Terrified, he will remember their names. His green-haired ally explains the rival Tucktail and ran after the instructor exposed his scheme. An academy official then hands over the wager winnings, the blueprint, and some extra compensation. Lin Fong just accepts it all with a cool, completely unbothered expression. This green-haired girl seems pretty thrilled that his rival got exactly what was coming to him. But our boy's only thought is about the fertilizer, absolutely giddy with his farming haul. This instructor then gives the girl a memory stone with the fight footage just in case. Meanwhile, the sore loser rival is taking out his rage on a punching bag with Lin Fang's face on it. He realizes brute force is useless against him and starts plotting a different kind of revenge. His new angle is to target Lin Fang's reliance on nature magic and powerful summons. So he writes a letter to his uncle and Earl to pull some very influential strings. This guy demands that all nature magic instructors be recalled from the battlefield immediately. His lackey is stunned, realizing he is calling in the big guns just to suppress one student. This rival smirks, counting on those old-school purists to punish Lin Fong for being so arrogant. Meanwhile, back at the academy, a woman named Vila is reviewing some very important data from her room. She's watching the footage of Lin Fang's fight, calling his understanding of nature's power pure instinct. Realizing what a big deal this is, she decides to write a letter to summon some old fossils back immediately. And she sends it off via an adorable little messenger bird. Priority mail, obviously. She warns them that if they do not hurry back, they're going to miss out on a Lifetime Achievement Award. For the next several days, Lin Fong basically moves into the dungeon, just grinding nonstop. He is just casually standing over another defeated boss, looking completely unfazed by it all. This guy has set so many records. He is literally just competing against himself on the leaderboard now. Other adventurers are watching him, totally bored because he makes it look easier than farming actual crops. And once again, he is back at the counter, trading a whole box of monster fangs for more fertilizer. This instructor finally tells him he has accumulated enough credits to apply for the upper academy. Lin Fong seems a little surprised by the sudden suggestion to promote to a new school. His teacher explains the upper academy is where all the real elites from the lower schools gather, plus the rewards and resources they're on a completely different level fit for a genius like him. Our boy is now seriously considering the offer, mulling over the name Sunha Academy. With a confident smile, he thanks the instructor for the valuable information and advice. So, he heads straight over to the academy mission hall to get the process started. He walks right up to the desk to apply, and the receptionist asks for his credentials. Lin Fong just hands over his credit voucher without a single word. She pulls up his file, confirming he is Lin Fong from the nature department, which is still hilarious. This crowd is buzzing, finally realizing Lin Fong is the legendary grinder who has been living in the dungeon. With his credits confirmed, the receptionist hands over his promotion mission scroll for Sunha Academy. Lin Fang's first question is of course about getting better farming supplies after he levels up. She explains that promotion unlocks gold and platinum rewards, which gets a very satisfied smile from our boy. His mission is conveniently located near his estate, but first he's got a quick errand to run, so he heads off to pick up his hard-earned prize. This instructor hands over the lamp of nature with a stern warning to keep it away from death energy. Lin Fang just gives him a charming smile, basically promising nothing of the sort. And then he comically tiptoes away, already planning to ignore that very good advice. Out in the woods, he recalls the warning that the lamp cannot be tainted by death energy. But his inner necromancer is just screaming at him to try it anyway, for science. He immediately pumps his dark magic into the nature artifact, mixing purple death with green life, which summons a gigantic spectral skull, turning the lamp into a bony, undead L looking in cage. Lin Fang is just stunned, realizing he just converted a nature artifact into an undead one on a whim. Just then, a flash of green light erupts from the bushes nearby, signaling he is not alone. He scrambles to hide the evidence, looking like a kid caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Luckily, he can use nature magic to revert its appearance, saving him from a very awkward conversation. Back at his farm, he gets right to work installing his new super-powered farming cheat code. Lin Fang stands back to admire the giant glowing crystal, looking extremely pleased with himself. And just like that, his crops start growing at an absolutely ridiculous speed. Lin Fang is absolutely blown away by the lamp of nature's power, watching his crops explode with growth. This new power-up has him fired up to clear his promotion mission for even better farming loot. So, he blazes off toward his mission location, looking like a one-man light show. But from inside a nearby building, a mysterious glowing entity seems to be watching his every move. It is some kind of armored ethereal being holding a glowing cube, like a cosmic Rubik's Cube. Meanwhile, Lin Fang's destination is an old abandoned watchtower that has definitely seen better days. He arrives on site, confirming this creepy cracked tower is indeed his mission objective. Since it is a search mission in a sketchy area, he decides to play it smart and stay cautious. His caution immediately pays off when he spots fresh footprints. He is definitely not alone out here. Crouching down, he wonders who else would be hanging out in this derelict middle of nowhere. And just as he is thinking that, he looks up, sensing he has got company right above him. Turns out two of his rival's goons are on the tower, sent to sabotage his mission by stealing the objective first. One of them is panicking, but the other is way too confident, planning to just burn the item to guarantee failure. This guy is practically gloating about how easy it'll be to ruin Lin Fang's promotion. Total genius level planning. Too bad for them. Lin Fang is already standing there holding the mission item, having found it while they were monologuing. With a killer smirk, he asks if he should be thanking them for leading him right to it. This goons completely lose it, immediately starting the blame game like a married couple. Their boss snaps, screaming at his partner to just get the stupid item back already. So, the two stooges charge forward, ready to get absolutely wrecked by the guy they underestimated. Lin Fang does not even flinch, just casually raising some earth spikes to deal with the trash. This first goon barely dodges a volley of nature magic spikes sent his way, but his buddy gets immediately snagged by some very grabby vines and yanked into the air. Now they're both hanging upside down like human piñatas as Lin Fang demands an explanation. He gives them a smile that says, "This is going to be fun for exactly one of us." Later that evening, our boy finally heads back to his farm after a productive day of sabotage prevention. On his way, he senses that same mysterious presence again, realizing he cannot ignore it forever. He rounds the corner and stops dead in his tracks, completely baffled by the scene before him. Because that ethereal being is back now, wearing a hard hat and holding a flag like a cosmic foreman. This guy is directing a whole crew of many summons who are plowing his fields. Talk about premium service. Lin Fang is just trying to process that his farm apparently hired its own supernatural labor force. Then it clicks, and he gets a greedy little smirk. Fully automatic farming. Do not mind if I do. Meanwhile, the rival gets the bad news that his two stooges are missing and most likely very, very dead. He responds to this failure with a totally mature and well-adjusted punch right through the wall. His poor lackey just has to stand there while he screams about how useless everyone is but him. This rival's rage is now laser-focused on one person, and it is definitely Lin Fang. He is absolutely seething that our boy had the audacity to fight back against his hired thugs. So he goes full scorched earth, ordering a hit on Lin Fang with the highest possible bounty. This guy is completely convinced Lin Fang is the one who took out his man Tuka. No proof needed, of course. Back at the Academy Mission Hall, Lin Fong is wrapping up his promotion business. An official hands over his new uniform, welcoming him to Sunwheel Academy and the big leagues. An official hands Lin Fong his new uniform, officially welcoming him to the upper academy. Lin Fong is already thinking about how this promotion means more credits for farming supplies, a man of culture. With his new status, he heads right back to his favorite level 10 dungeon, ready to grind. But the guard at the entrance immediately stops him, saying he is not allowed in anymore. Our boy is completely baffled, asking why the rules suddenly changed on him. Turns out upper academy students are now banned from low-level dungeons to preserve resources. And Lin Fong is absolutely devastated. They have cut off his main fertilizer supply line. As he walks off, the guard sighs in relief, knowing the academy's warehouse is safe from this one-man economic disaster. Now his best farming route is gone, forcing him to figure out a new plan for his crops. Just then, a voice calls out, recognizing him as the newly promoted junior. A shady-looking guy named Ron introduces himself, acting like they are old pals. He mentions his squad as conveniently one person short for a gathering mission. Ron then gets uncomfortably friendly, inviting Lin Fong to join and learn the ropes of the new dungeons. Despite his suspicions, Lin Fong needs the credits and intel, so he weighs the offer. He agrees to join, and Ron immediately throws an arm around him, leading him away. With a smug look, Ron tells him the rest of the crew is waiting at the dungeon entrance. They arrive at a much more intimidating portal, clearly an upper academy level challenge. Ron points out his teammates waiting for them just ahead. This welcoming party consists of a girl who looks annoyed to be alive and a giant dude who is probably the muscle. Their new leader explains the mission. Collect 10 moonlight grass plants and avoid the local dark elf patrols. This new squad, including a very suspicious Lin Fong, steps through the portal into the Heil dungeon. Deep inside the Shadowwood, the team moves cautiously, looking for their mission objective. Ron finds the moonlight grass almost immediately, commenting on how suspiciously easy it was a classic jinx. And right on cue, a dark elf patrol appears, forcing everyone to draw their weapons for a fight. These are not your typical elves, more like terrifying moth people with glowing red eyes and a bad attitude. The elves immediately open fire, launching a volley of nasty-looking purple energy blast from the sky. Ron manages to deflect the incoming attack with a swift slash of his blade. His brilliant strategy is to have Lin Fong draw all the aggro, shouting that the elves hate nature magic. Lin Fong just agrees, getting ready to unleash his specialty on these new enemies. A quick wave of his hand sends vines shooting out instantly and snaring the entire patrol. He has even formed a giant plant-based scythe, looking like a total boss while the others just watch. While that is happening, Ron is busy swinging his own weapon, looking very focused on the fight. But he suddenly panics, shouting that the elves are calling for backup and yelling for his crew to act. This girl gives a cold look and just says it is time to begin, which sounds incredibly ominous. Their big muscle-bound teammate just gives a simple okay in response. Then the big guy summons a massive earth pillar, channeling some serious power into it. With a slam, he creates a giant chasm that conveniently cuts Lin Fong off from the rest of the group. Our boy is left dangling over the edge, looking up at his so-called allies in disbelief. Ron offers the fakest apology ever, claiming it was an accident from a new skill. Yeah, right? Lin Fong just stares up, asking if they are seriously abandoning him. As his expression turns to ice, Ron lays out their cover story with a smug grin. Lin Fong got cocky and died fighting a monster so tragic. Looking completely unimpressed, Lin Fong asks if they are not worried about the consequences of killing a student. Their genius plan is to steal his badge and fake the data with a monster's energy signature. A flawless crime, obviously. Lin Fong then asks if there is any other way for the truth to get out, basically getting them to list their blind spots. After Ron boasts about their professional level, our boy says he understands now, which is never a good sign for the bad guys. And with that, he just lets go, falling backward into the chasm without a fight. Ron just scoffs, thinking Lin Fong chose a quick death over getting wrecked by them. What a coward. But his smug expression immediately melts into pure sweaty terror as he realizes something is very wrong, because Lin Fong is floating right back up on a column of dark energy, asking if they are prepared. He finishes the question with pure menace, wondering if they are ready to face his legion. This entire betrayal squad panics as he summons 2 gigantic undead warriors, completely flipping the script. One of his new summons casually gathers a ball of destructive energy, looking like it is about to end their careers, and then it unleashes a massive blast that completely engulfs the so-called professionals. Ron is just sputtering in disbelief, finally realizing he tried to backstab a necromancer. With the situation fully under control, Lin Feng calmly asks if they have any final words. Ron, now looking like he's been through a blender, immediately starts begging and blaming his boss, Haru. He even offers to testify that Haru framed Lin Feng for killing some guy named Tuka, a full-on snitch. Lin Feng just crouches down and asks with genuine curiosity, "Who is Tuka?" This leaves Ron absolutely speechless, realizing the entire hit was based on a total misunderstanding. Our boy just waves his hand dismissively, telling his summons to forget it and bury them anyway. Lin Feng just plugs his ears as his summons handle the cleanup with one massive explosion. With his last breath, Ron curses our boy to die a terrible death. A truly heartfelt final wish. But Lin Feng just puts a boot on his head, promising his good days are only just beginning. A single command has him ordering Ron to rise Necromancy style. And just like that, the entire betrayal squad is now his loyal undead honorage kneeling before him. He is already wondering if these new humanoid summons are smarter than his usual skeletons. After looting the elves' magic, he figures it is time to head back and report the tragic accident. So, he strolls over to the dungeon exit, completely ready to call a day. Except the portal is completely sealed off, refusing to let him leave, which leaves him a little confused since the mission was technically over. Then, a system alert pops up. The dungeon is now locked until he clears it. But hey, double stats. Suddenly, a dark presence fills the forest as shadowy shapes close in around him. This ground trembles from the heavy stomping of an approaching steed. Lin Feng's face says it all. This is definitely not a low-level mob. It is a massive armored horseman crackling with power, looking like the dungeon's final boss just spawned. This rider raises his giant spear, preparing to charge him down on the spot. Our boy's shock quickly turns into a very serious bring-it-on expression. Backed by his new undead team, he feels pretty confident he can handle this guy too. He just gives the simple order for his new puppets to attack. His undead minion lunges forward, meeting the horseman's charge heat-in. His undead assassin zips through the air, dodging a storm of purple energy blades. Her muscle-bound partner winds up for a counter, channeling his own dark power. He unleashes a massive, double, crescent wave of energy right back at the boss. This horseman's steed rears back, getting absolutely blasted by the unexpected attack. Meanwhile, Ron is busy putting the boot to some poor dark elf. Talk about delegation. Not to be outdone, the female summon starts firing off her own volley of attacks. She materializes a bow of pure shadow, drawing back an arrow with deadly intent. And that poor elf gets turned into a pin cushion for his troubles. A truly brutal takedown. Lin Feng watches all this while eating a banana, critiquing his new puppet's teamwork like a disappointed coach. This dungeon boss is not impressed, slamming its weapon down for a massive shockwave. His big, undead minion gets impaled, but still has the energy to ask how the boss can also use death magic. This new information gives Lin Feng a moment of serious thought, but he just smiles and tells his minion to stop asking dumb questions and go die again ice cold. This undead giant clutches his chest as some kind of dark power overwhelms him from within. And just like that, he collapses, a gaping hole where his chest used to be. Lin Feng immediately sends in a new shadowy beast to take his place. No time for mourning. A system window pops up, announcing the dungeon is only 50% cleared. Our boy realizes this is a double boss dungeon, meaning the fun is just getting started. So, he ventures deeper into the Shadowwood's core, a forest of giant glowing mushrooms. He starts hopping across the massive fungi, heading toward the next big challenge. Lin Feng arrives at the heart of the dungeon, looking ready for round 2. He finds himself in a massive corrupted chamber with a very obvious boss arena in the center, and a pair of very judgmental eyes are staring him down from the shadows. This dungeon's guardian asks why he is here, but Lin Feng just wants to know if she is ready to fight. Her name is Savi's, and she's got that whole goth elf queen vibe going on. She immediately starts charging up some nasty-looking purple magic in her hand. Suddenly, the entire area lights up with an ominous red glow and countless floating orbs. A system alert explains the field damages not dead, but actually heals his summons. Our boy realizes his undead army now has infinite stamina in this place, which is just perfect. He gets the most punchable grin on his face, absolutely loving this whole setup. With his undead crew ready, he gives the simple command to wreck everything in sight. Meanwhile, we see the guy who hired Ron explaining this whole dungeon lock was his master plan. He asserted that even with a massive stat boost, the final boss is completely unbeatable. This thought of Lin Feng dying horribly in his perfect trap just makes him giddy. But back in the dungeon, Lin Feng summons a tidal wave of icy power, completely overwhelming the arena. From the blast emerges a new god-tier summoned with the boss already kneeling at its feet. And Lin Fang's contribution to this epic fight is to eat a banana completely unimpressed. His new powerhouse of a summon has the Guardian completely pinned down without breaking a sweat. Savis is left on the floor looking utterly shocked that her big boss fight ended so fast. She then asks the summon why Haiso betrayed them, revealing it is a known sentient being. Lin Fang just stares up at his new summon, Hai Zio, who apparently has some beef with the locals. This defeated Elf Queen, Savis, spits a final threat about him destroying her incubation nest. With her last breath, she promises some other powerful she will hunt him down for it. And with that, the boss arena basically explodes in a flash of light. A massive pillar signals the dungeon has finally been cleared, leaving Lin Fang standing victorious. This system confirms it, giving him a new record and in a rank while his rewards are calculated. Of course, our boy celebrates by eating a banana, already feeling the stat boost. Kicking in. For his troubles, a giant, ominous-looking purple egg appears as his main reward. Lin Fang just stares at it, completely clueless about what he has just won. A system window pops up, revealing it is a mythic-grade embryo of a primordial demon jackpot. He puts 2 and 2 together, realizing this must be the nest Savis was so mad about. Pulling out a storage ring, he gets ready to pocket his new demonic pet project. This massive egg gets sucked right into his inventory with a swirl of dark energy. Just as the exit portal opens, our boy gets a wonderfully terrible idea. He turns back from the exit, looking at the one piece of loot he left behind. Looking at Sabi's body, he weighs the cost of turning a level 18 boss into a new puppet. With a smirk that says, totally worth it, he gives the simple command to rise. Dark energy immediately envelopes her as the necromancy begins its work. She kneels before him, reborn with a fancy new hat and a serious loyalty upgrade. Her new title is the Executive of Death, which sounds way cooler than Dungeon Boss. Lin Fang is completely stunned to find out his new undead puppet can actually talk. She introduces herself as the Executive of Death, which is a bit on the nose even for a necromancer's minion. But she just keeps repeating her title, and our boy is already tired of her one-track mind. After she says it a third time, Lin Fang just stares, probably regretting this whole resurrection thing. He finally just tells her to shut up so much for a respectful master-servant relationship. Stepping out of the dungeon portal, he is immediately greeted by a crowd of shocked faces. Some random dude immediately starts freaking out,